Well guys, here it is. The Saddlemen step-up seat on my 2019 Road Glide Special. What's going on guys? So today's the day. Finally, my Saddlemen step-up seat came in. So without further ado, let's go ahead and unpackage my seat and get it installed on my Road Glide. My new Saddlemen step-up seat. And here she is, my new Saddlemen step-up seat with the diamond stitch here and the smooth leather on the back seat there. It is a step up, and I'm really impressed with how it looks. But looks aren't everything. Let's see how comfortable it is, and we'll do a review on this seat. I just wanted to show you guys underneath the seat and show you guys the craftsmanship of a Saddlemen seat. Notice the rivets here on the leather seat cover. They're riveted on. Most seat covers are stapled on, so I wanted to show you the good quality of that. The aluminum plate right here that goes around the tab on, like, by your gas tank for this to slide into is riveted on as well, and just a nice quality piece. So I wanted to go ahead and show you guys how good quality the Saddlemen seats are. Saddlemen also provided you with this rubber washer, which goes right here on the bike, goes around where you would screw in your thumb screw to hold the seat down. And that's nice that they do that. That way the seat bracket doesn't scratch your paint. So they put that, you put that rubber seal around there, and you won't have any issues on scratching your paint. You're going to need to take a 5/32 Allen wrench and undo these two Allen screws here. Flip this bracket around, and then that way you'll be able to mount the seat on your bike and screw it down. So 5/32 Allen wrench for these ones here. I recommend getting some clear, either clear bra or clear cling, which is what this is, like window cling. And I put it on the back of the fender here, so when the seat sits on the fender, it doesn't scratch. So I wanted to show you guys that. That's a little tech tip for you guys. That way you don't get that mark from the seat rubbing on there when you're riding. So make sure you guys go ahead and get yourself some clear bra or cling. That way you protect your fender from getting scratched. Well guys, here it is. The Saddlemen step-up seat on my 2019 Road Glide Special. I'm really impressed with how it turned out. It looks really sharp on the bike. It's a good looking seat, but looks aren't everything guys, especially on a Road Glide, a bike that you travel far distance on. You want to be comfortable. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna hop on the bike, go take it for a test ride. I'm gonna do some measurements for you guys and let you guys know, seat height, and see if I'll give you my height dimensions and seat dimensions, and that way you guys can compare based on your height and see if this seat will work for you. I'm not sure how it's gonna work for me. We're about to find out here in just a second, but I got the seat on the bike. It looks really good. I'm impressed with the fitment. The overall fitment of Saddlemen seats are top notch. The leather is stitched really nicely. Underneath is, as you guys can see in that video, is really nice, and the leather seat cover is riveted on, not stapled on. So it's a really nice piece. I'm very impressed with it. But like I said, looks aren't everything guys. It all depends on comfort, and make sure that I can touch, and be comfortable touching and reaching the controls, because from what I can see is the seat looks to be a little bit taller than this portion here. Seems to be a little bit taller than the stock seat, and I'm a shorter guy. I'm 5'7", so I'm definitely picky about my seats because I want to be able to touch flat-footed on the ground. As I mentioned before, the craftsmanship on these Saddlemen seats are top notch. I'm gonna try to zoom in here and show you guys the stitching on the seat. Very nice stitching on the Saddlemen seat. You've got Saddlemen engraved here on the right side of the seat, and then you've got the Saddlemen logo right here on the back, and then there's no logo or anything on this side. So, and like I mentioned before, I got the diamond cut here for just the rider only, and then the passenger is smooth leather. I wanted it to be that, I wanted that look, so that's why I went with this seat. I will say the Saddlemen seat is a lot narrower, like in this section here, and the reason I know that is because my stock seat kind of rubbed some of the black paint off, because it literally went about right here. So after me riding it 2,000 miles, well, almost 3,000 miles now, it rubbed some of the paint off, so I went ahead and used some rubbing compound and some polish and tried to get that gloss vivid black paint back, and it did for the most part. Even back here, the stock seat went all the way around about to right here, and you can kind of see, I don't know if you can see in the video, right there, you see that? That is from the stock seat rubbing, you know, 2,000, 3,000 miles on this side cover here. So I got to go ahead and work on that and polish that and get those marks off. But yeah, the seat is definitely narrower than the stock seat, I will say that. But I do think it's going to be taller, and me being a shorter guy, that might not be beneficial to me. So I'm going to go take it for a test ride now and let you guys know how I feel about it once I test it out. As you guys can see here, the back portion of the seat is even narrower than the stock factory seat. And the way you can tell is because you can see your frame rails all the way down, where on the stock seat it came out about right here and then came in, and that, you know, you couldn't see the full frame rail on the, you know, with using the stock seat. So this seat definitely looks killer on the bike. It's definitely sleek and very sharp looking, a lot better looking than the stock seat in my opinion. But like I mentioned before, and I'll say it again, it all depends on the comfort and the ride quality. I mean, you didn't buy a touring bike to go bar hopping on and to be, you know, go to bike shows and, you know, just to look good and ride 10 miles a night. Like, you know, when you buy a touring bike, you typically want to be able to take it on trips and be comfortable and have that comfort. So I'm gonna go take it for a ride and come back and let you guys know how I thought about the Saddlemen step-up seat. This seat is a gel seat, so I will say, for it being a gel seat, it is very stiff. It's a lot stiffer than the stock foam seat, but they say that it handles and absorbs the bumps a lot better than the stock seat, so we're about to find that out as well. But yeah, it is a gel seat, so let's see how the ride quality is and the comfort is, and I'll get back with you guys once I get back. If you guys are wondering where I got my contrast cut or edge cut thumb screw for the seat, I got it off Amazon. I will leave a link in the description below on where you guys can go pick one of these up for yourselves. Alright guys, so I have the bike sitting straight up on a piece of wood as if I was on it, sitting it straight up, but since I'm a one-man show here and I have to run the camera and measure the seat height for you, I have the bike sitting up on a piece of wood, basically off the on the jiffy stand, but so the bike's up level, sitting up level. So I'm going to go ahead and measure the seat height from the ground so you guys can get a better understanding on how tall this seat is from the ground. So let's go ahead and do that now. So I'm going to go to basically the highest point of the seat on where you would sit, where your butt would sit, and we're going to go straight down to the ground, and it measures out to be exactly 30 inches from the seat here to the ground is 30 inches when the bike is standing straight up. So that'd be a 30-inch seat height from the ground, and that's where we stand on this one here. Alright guys, and if you're wondering how wide the seat is, I'm going to go ahead and measure that for you at the widest part of the seat, which would be right here. So from the widest part of the seat, from edge to edge, we're looking at just over 11 inches wide. So almost a foot wide from edge to edge for the width. Some of you might be wondering how big the back seat is if you guys are riding a passenger all the time and you don't know if this seat would be practical for that, because it is a step-up seat, and most of the time when you run a step-up seat, you're riding solo most of the time. But if some of you guys want this look but yet ride a passenger a lot and want to know the dimensions of this back seat, I'm going to go ahead and give you those now. So length is going to be 1 foot exactly, so 12 inches long I'll go by the widest portion up here, by 7.5 inches wide at the widest part of the back seat. And then at the narrowest part of the back seat, we're looking at 5.5 inches wide for that rear passenger seat. So while I have the tape measure out, I'm going to go ahead and measure the height of the step-up part of the seat, the back support, and from the lowest point to the tallest point on the step-up part of the seat, the back support is 5.5 inches tall. Alright guys, so this is me, 5'7", sitting on the new Saddlemen step-up seat. And as you can see, I can only touch with my tippy toes on both sides. The bike is off the jiffy stand. I have it sitting straight up, and I cannot touch flat-footed on either side. I can touch with my tippy toes no matter where I go, but not flat-footed. So the Saddlemen seat is definitely a little bit taller than the factory seat. As you're about to see in the next clip here, you'll see that I can touch a little bit better on the factory stock seat. So far, I'm not really thinking this seat is going to be the right seat for me, just because I don't have much balance and footprint as I'd like to have. You know, when I pull up to a stoplight or go to take off, I'd like to have more, you know, flat foot. Alright guys, so now I'm going to go ahead and sit on the bike and show you guys how well I can touch on the stock seat. As you guys can see, I'm almost flat-footed on the stock seat, whereas on the step-up seat, I'm, you know, tippy-toeing. But the stock seat is definitely a lot lower, and I feel like I'm planted a lot better when I come up to a stoplight or, you know, maneuvering around a parking lot. I feel a lot more comfortable being lower to the ground so I can touch better. So as you can see here, I'm not completely flat, but I am touching a lot better than I was on the Saddlemen step-up seat. So the stock seat definitely works better for my height. Alright guys, so I just got back from riding about 60 miles on the new Saddlemen seat, and I must say it was very comfortable, surprisingly actually, because I thought that with how hard it was, I thought it'd be an uncomfortable seat. And I know seats take up to 200-300 miles, maybe even 500 miles to break in. You know, I weigh 165 pounds, so it's not like I'm a huge guy, but it definitely would take a little bit more riding for that seat to break in. But overall, I felt like the seat was comfortable. However, here's the part I don't like about the seat. The thing I don't like about the seat is I can't touch very well at a stoplight, or when I come to a stop, or when I'm maneuvering in a parking lot, trying to park the bike. As you can see in that one video, I can't touch very well. I can only touch with my tippy toes, and I wanted the seat to obviously look good, but I also wanted it to be practical and comfortable for my height and weight as well. So with that being said, I don't think the Saddlemen seat is going to work well for my height and weight, and I don't believe that I am going to keep this seat on the bike. I do have a Lucky Dave seat coming in the next few days that I'm going to try out. I know Saddlemen makes Lucky Dave seats, but stay tuned for that review as well. I will be reviewing the Lucky Dave step-up seat that looks just like the Saddlemen, but it does have a little bit different characteristics to it, and hopefully that seat will bring my butt lower to the ground so that I can touch better. So make sure you guys stay tuned for that video coming up. So yeah, if you're in the market for a step-up seat, if you're looking at the Saddlemen step-up seat, I recommend it. If you are taller than 5'7", I feel like you would have no problem touching. Overall, I feel like it's a comfortable seat. It's definitely hard when you go to like press on it. I mean, it's definitely a stiff seat, but when you're riding, you don't feel the stiffness. And just like Saddlemen claims, when you go over a bump or railroad tracks or anything like that, it absorbs that bump to where you don't feel it at all. Like, I will say that the gel padding in this seat is definitely a lot better than the padding in the stock factory seat. So if you're in the market for a step-up seat, you like the way the Saddlemen looks, and you're taller than 5'7", I'd say this is the seat for you. So for now, unfortunately, I'm gonna take the Saddlemen seat off, send it back. It didn't work for me. I will be putting my stock seat back on for the next few days until my Lucky Dave seat comes in, and I will be doing a review on that seat as well for you guys, so you guys can decide which seat will better fit your needs. But for me, the Saddlemen is just a little bit too tall of a seat, and I don't like the way I feel when I come to a stop. And I just don't feel comfortable when I come up to a stoplight and can't touch with both feet on the ground. It's just not a good feeling, especially on a heavy bike like this that weighs, you know, 830 pounds. So yeah, the seat is definitely a nice seat. I don't give Saddlemen any bad reviews. I really like the seat. It's a nice seat. The quality and fit and finish is just amazing. They did a great job on this seat. And I recommend this seat if you are taller than 5'7". I mean, I have no other complaints, but for me, with my height, it's just not gonna work. I will leave a link in the description below on where you guys can pick up one of these seats. I seem to find the cheapest price on Amazon, and it was Amazon Prime. It came in 2 days, and that's where I found it the cheapest, so I will provide that link in the description below. Also guys, let me know your thoughts. Drop a comment down below. Let me know what you guys think of the seat. Do you guys like it? Do you not? Do some of you have the seat? Do some of you not? Are you guys in the market for this seat? What are your thoughts on it? Let me know. Drop a comment down below. I want to know your thoughts. So that's going to complete today's video, guys. If you like the video, make sure you hit that thumbs up button. If you're new to the channel, make sure you smash that subscribe button. I appreciate all your support. I greatly appreciate it. I mean, I never thought I'd get to this level. I just hit 10,000 subscribers not too long ago, and we're just growing by the day. So make sure you guys stay tuned for more videos on this Road Glide build. I will be having a lot more parts coming for it. As I mentioned earlier in the video, I will be having a Lucky Dave's seat coming for it. It is on order. I'm just waiting for it to get here. And my handlebars just showed up, so I will be doing a handlebar install video for you guys, and also a review on which handlebars I went with and why. So make sure you guys hit that subscribe button, stay tuned to my channel, and stay up to date with my videos on this Road Glide build. As always, thanks for watching, and I will see you guys next video. Peace!